This is the Owl of Wisdom. Like and subscribe for 10 years of good luck. If you don't, it won't be pretty. What is the biggest waste of money? Any food or drinks with gold flakes. It does nothing for the taste. Those stimulation stomach belts that tell you it will give you six-pack abs. People just don't use them right. They should be glued on permanently, and when a person puts junk in their mouth, the belt gives them a 50V shot. Counterintuitive, but buying cheap stuff to save money and then having to buy it again or pay for reparation. Example, appliances, shoes and furniture. Smoking, you're literally burning your money away. Funerals. Fallout 76 membership. Timeshares or any MLM program. Not price comparing. Why buy the same thing for more? Gambling. Driving a giant diesel pickup truck for daily transportation. Buying WinRAR. An education for a degree you didn't end up using but whose loans you are still paying off. Throwing a lavish wedding. I get that people want to make the day special, but you can still have a very nice wedding without breaking the bank. Instead of spending so much on the wedding, you can use that money to help get your new life together as a married couple off to a great start. Endless foreign wars. Lottery tickets. War. Using premium fuel if your car does not require it. Sex dolls. Use your hand like an adult. Spending money on the movie Cats tickets. Cigarettes. Cable TV. There are so many streaming options out there that cost a fraction of what cable costs. Drinking is a pretty hardcore money drain. Saving loads of it without ever investing. In-game purchases in apps. Big fancy weddings and expensive honeymoons. Unless you're absolutely filthy rich. Get married at City Hall. Put a down payment on a house and or invest wisely in a retirement fund. Cigarettes. 2. Diamonds and by extension, the whole wedding industry. Game skins. Never understood the appeal. Scratch off lotto tickets. And smoking. Wedding. You pay a lot for just one day, WTF. People who update their iPhone every year a new one comes out. Big weddings. Prostitutes who aren't looking like Danny DeVito. Things like Supreme, Jordans and all these pieces of clothing where you pay for the brand and not the clothing. God, I hate hippies. Buying $1 million arts that look like scribbles. My entire college tuition and other non-essentials. Actually, my entire life TBH. Starbucks, and not cooking at home but eating out or having food delivered all the time. Bottled water. Children. When someone gives you a ton of gifts you don't even want and then not use it. Lottery tickets and gambling. Loot boxes and fake currency and video games. New cars. Marrying a woman who wants to be a stay-at-home mom, then getting a divorce a couple years later and losing half of your money. Say it with me, weddings. Cigarettes in the year 2020. It is strange, but I actually see young people smoking. WTF. I remember reading Stranger Things had to reduce the smoking scenes because of the impressionable effects it was having. But seriously, in 2020 with all the information we have, the smokers waste so much money on cigarettes and they are killing their lungs and circulatory system. Starbucks. Carnival games. Red face with censoring symbols over mouth. Face with rolling eyes. Fucking fireworks. Cheap makeup. People like to poo-poo people who spend more money on makeup, but once you find some good quality stuff, you don't want to go backwards on it because it just works better. And sometimes, you can use less of it, versus cheaper stuff that you have to use more of to get the effect you want. Spending money so you can only spend that specific amount of money at one shop. Gift cards. Red angry face. Tattoos, I got no problem with them, but I couldn't see myself getting one unless I had literally nothing else to spend money on, which seems unlikely. Buying the cheapest version of something, it stops working or falls apart in 10x less time, or it works like crap to begin with. That knockoff brand shoe looks the same as the real one, but costs 25% less than the original. Be prepared to be uncomfortable after walking for a while, then see it fall apart after 6 months instead of 5 years. There's a non-stick pan at Target that costs $20 instead of $50 at Bed Bath & Beyond. Watch it work like shit after the second use. What's the point of spending any money on something if it doesn't work right? Buy a quality one and you won't have to replace it in 6 months. If you get a quality version and keep it for 5 years, you get 10 times the use of it and only pay 25% more. Funerals. Boom, I said it. Have the memorial at your house and just get cremated. Special goodies and power-ups in app games like Candy Crush. Conversion therapy. As a smoker, I gotta say, cigarettes. They're fucking expensive, at least where I live, and they last for like 2 minutes. The Iraq War. Babies. They cost thousands of dollars and they don't even do anything. MLMs. If you go to a university, Greek life, it's so fucking stupid. Essential oils. Building a giant wall. Anything that ends with premium. Financial advisors. Do just a little research and you can easily make sound long-term investments and avoid giving some schmuck 1% of your life savings per year. New cell phone when it's just released. Trump spending $48 million to go golfing in Florida. Girlfriend. Cable. War, tobacco and alcohol. Cheap underwear. I know it seems like a waste to spend good money on underwear, but when you're cancelling on dates because all your lace underwear was shredded by the dryer and all your other underwear has holes from wear and tear, you tell me you wouldn't invest in lace that can withstand machine wash and drying. Christmas. I spend so much and just get rubbish in return. ID cards or certification purchased online to make your pet into a service animal or emotional support animal. They are all scams. No exceptions. Service animal laws vary from country to country, and even by state or province. But there is nowhere in the world that recognizes some random thing you bought online that doesn't even evaluate your dog's training or your medical need for animal assistance. Most of them won't even verify it's an animal and not a jar of Nutella. Literally, there's a jar of Nutella registered at the United States Service Dog Registry. Don't be fooled by the name. The USSDR has no affiliation to the government, and they aren't the only website using official looking shit to trick people. Far from it. Cocaine. As I usually paired it with excessive drinking and gambling, it cost me even more than it normally would. Since I have been clean, coming up 18 months, I always have money, and I enjoy the effects of that far more than I ever enjoyed the blow. Any lose weight fast or get fit quick product. I was in a cult for decades that asked for 10% of my income every time I got paid. If I didn't pay it, I couldn't access the super secret magic rituals that would let me into heaven. Also, they asked me to work for them in a foreign country for free for 2 years, convincing other people to join the cult. I was supposed to pay my own way. While this wasn't exactly considered necessary to get into super extra heaven, it was heavily implied that it would help. Also, that my future spouse would be better looking if I did it. Turns out my money, and the money of millions of others, is now sitting in a tax-free $100 billion investment fund. Thanks for watching the Chronicles of Reddit. Like and subscribe for a marvelous life of adventure.